What's it gonna be?
Mike hurt my feelings.
Hey-o. It's Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey. I'm Mike. That's Mitch, and in the room with us we got Chris Pantier. How you doing, Chris?
Really good, really good. How are you guys?
Real good, real good.
Did he do it
Mitch
right?
Stupid. I'm sorry. I
that
didn't
was
call
not
him
called
stupid.
for.
I just said he was going to do a stupid
Stupid
thing.
saying or something.
But
yeah.
I meant that in the most endearing way possible, man.
Oh, look at the little heart thing. Yeah,
Right?
I can tell.
Yeah.
I'm taken by it.
Wow,
Yeah.
you guys.
We're bros.
It's
We
a
got a
great
bromance.
start.
It's all good.
That's what's up. You know, can help you move. If you're at that level, it's kind of,
Almost.
you can call them names.
We've been doing this for a year. I mean, it's crazy. We've been doing this for over a year, right? We figured that out because like
I've
our
actually
fifth or
never figured it out.
yeah, like our fifth or sixth episode was one voice last year. So we're rolling.
You know, Chris, when our guest, Chris, when you get in a relationship, you stop wondering how long it's going to be and just realize that it's going to be forever, babe. You know?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
you
anymore.
still remember the anniversaries.
One of us
right?
does.
Yeah. But this isn't about us, Chris. This is about you. We want to know about you, the Chris Pantier story, and fellow tier, right? Pantier and Pelletier, and
Not
we're both Americanized.
America.
We are not Pantier and Pelletier.
No. When the family got kicked out of France over to Germany, and before we got run out of that country, they changed it from Pantier to Pantier.
Yep.
Yeah, hard R.
Hard
Right.
R. Yep. Came to America and called it Pantier.
So crazy. I'm actually, in a way, related to George Bush, the younger and older. There's a lady that's in my family named Sue Bush. That's a family member that's weird. She does a whole genealogy, and you'd be so surprised the weirdos that I'm related to over the course of history.
Oh, I'm not related to weirdos, but my mom does genealogy. My mom's a Mormon, and she does the genealogy, and she's traced us back forever. I've got 3 ancestors that came over on the Mayflower. That's how white I am. And
I pulled up the genealogy. I was hoping to find anything other, but it was like right where white street met like Caucasian.
Yep. I am half French Canadian. My dad is full-blooded, and my mom is basically a mixture of everything white.
Wow.
Everything Caucasian.
I feel terrible for you guys.
German and Swedish and English and Scottish and Irish and all the things.
Yeah, you know what? I guess, yeah, my family, though, I've got a mixed race family. My wife is Hispanic, and my daughters, I guess, would be half Hispanic and half whatever I am. So,
Yeah.
half mutt.
Finally, we get
right.
some diversity in this.
Yeah.
family. Okay, let's really talk about this. Is not why we're here, but it could be.
Yeah.
We'll do a genealogy
Let's talk
show.
diversity.
Right?
2 white guys or 3 white
Well,
guys.
it's funny because, the stuff that when you get down, like, again, it's about being around loving voices, loving accents, loving this stuff. And so, when I'm around family, the next thing you know, when we're making fun of Theo, I'm using an accent that's probably inappropriate to use in any audition. But when we're breaking
When you're
Theo's
with
ball,
family.
that's what's up, man. You're going to have
Yeah.
to go. You're pulling out the accent, eh?
For sure, for sure. All right. Well,
Lucky.
Chris, we're going to start in the beginning as we do, and we want to hear about you. Like what you're in VO now, but you
Yeah.
weren't always in VO. You weren't
No.
always a voice actor, but
No.
you were telling us you got your start in something else at a very young age.
I
I
did.
suppose that's probably where it started. So
Well, it started off Arcadia High School here in Phoenix. I had one of those awesome get out there and get her done kind of theater teachers. Ended up having a hookup from LA. The guy was a headshot artist that did a ton of super famous people. He came over to the school and did the classes headshots. And while we were getting ready to do the headshot, this guy pulled me over and he goes, "Hey, Chris, look. Yeah, you're not what they're looking for in LA. I'm sorry, but you're just not."
What?
Yeah, and basically gave me the "you have a face for radio" speech, and I was like, wow. And he goes, but the good side is that you've got the personality and the voice too, and so it was actually a great calling and gave me kind of a direction. And within a year, I was volunteering at a print handicapped radio station, running the boards and doing like the weather, and I get to do little things like billboards and commercials, and that was my first start when I was 17.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's early. That's right out the gate.
It is, and then from then on, I told people, I know what I want to do. And from that point on, I went on and kept going. I was on the air doing mornings by the time I was 20 in Globe, Arizona, which is this teeny tiny little town. And then off to Tucson, Arizona, and did nights there for a minute. And then over to Phoenix, did overnights and production director here in Phoenix. And I was, in my early 20s. And then traveled around the country, from San Luis Obispo to New Mexico to Texas. Then they brought me back over here to Arizona, which is where I graduated high school. And I ran 103.9 and did afternoons there for a couple of years. And then we had our first kid.
Okay. I've never asked a radio person this.
Okay.
What's the draw? Now, for me, it was like, someone might know me later. I don't know what's
not the draw.
Yeah.
The draw is that I love music. I mean, it's a part of me. It's how I move. It's in my ear, in the AirPod when I'm walking around. I've got a mixer here, which you can't see, but there's two turntables, a microphone. I've got keyboards over here.
That's a lyric from something.
I know, back where it's at.
Turntables and a microphone.
But they would pay me for 4 hours to sit inside a booth that had big, giant speakers that played the music I wanted to hear. And to me, I couldn't think of a better job than getting to listen to the songs that I wanted to hear and talk about the music that I thought kicked ass with people who also thought that, because they were calling me going, hey, can you play this song? Or, hey, did you see this? Or what about this song? Or have you ever heard this cover of this song from these guys? And I just love music. And so I just eat it all up.
So what's the genre of choice then? What kind of radio stations did you work for?
Well, I started off doing alternative because that was kind of the vibe that I was in. I was kind of a rocker, and then from there, I ended up popping over and doing the CHR, they call it, which is top 40, and then from there popped into hip hop.
Casey Kasem's top 40.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. And then in the middle of the 90s, I was doing hip hop and a number of different stations. I ran those. And then ran what would be considered like a classic or a mega format, which is the name of this station that I ran here, 104.3, another one of them that I had. And then ran a hip-hop station called 101.1 The Beat here in town for a while, too. It was a classic hip-hop station.
All right. So you've spanned the gamut of musical tastes there.
I do. And I just, like I said, I just love music. One of my favorite guys is a guy that's named AL3, and he is a phenomenal DJ. He worked for me at 103.9 for a little while. He's now the DJ for the UFC. So every time that you're seeing an arena being rocked, it's my buddy out there knocking it out. And
no way.
Just super fun, and like I said, I just love music. You can think this is lame, but I'm part at the PTO at the school, and so when the kids have dances, they bring me in to do it because they know I'm going to play clean music, and they know that the kids are going to rock. So
nice.
Yeah,
we love it.
And how do your kids feel about that? I'm sure all the other kids are like, oh, Bob's dad rocks, or whatever your kid's name is, but your kids are going, oh.
Yeah, no, Alexis is cool. My daughter neat about it, but they're kind of like, I mean, if you're somebody's dad, you're still lame to them.
Yeah.
And I tell parents all the time, I used to be cool back before I had kids. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I think it's just you perceived yourself as cool, and then when you have kids, you have
maybe that's
kids,
it. I thought I was cool.
Kids set the record straight and let you know where you stand in the world.
They really do. It's a very quick whack in the back of the head. Dad, I need your help. Get my socks. And you're back on the normal playing field.
So you're in radio.
Yeah, so I still do some stuff. It's the weirdest thing. You get caught up in it, and they pull you back in. And so, when we had my first daughter, Ashley, she's now 20. She's over at ASU in the CIS. It's an information science technology thing that she's doing, and she's going to graduate 6 months early, which rock. And I was lucky and blessed to be able to kind of stay at home with her for a period of time. And then once she got back into school, I got pulled back in to run a couple stations here. And then once we had our second daughter, Alexis, who's now 11, again, when that happened, I pulled myself off the air and kind of told folks that I needed to take a break. And then, boy, once I got her back into school, I thought I was home free. I was consulting a company here in town that was doing a TV broadcast weekly, and helping them get their show kind of buttoned down and formatted correctly. And COVID hit. And so we had spring break a week. And then the next thing you know, they're like, you ain't bringing your kid back. So I pawned off this show that I was consulting to some friends, and kind of basically took second and third grade with the kiddo to teach her how to read, write, and arithmetic. So,
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doing that dad thing.
Yeah.
And killing it.
It's the best. I mean, I really thought the best thing in the world was, believe me, being program director of radio stations, going backstage to meet people like Janet Jackson or Chester from Lincoln Park, or I've got Metallica, Soundgarden. God, you think of all the people I've met who are dead now, like Chris Cornell and, and Chester Bennington. And so just so many folks. And, I remember we were working at 103.9, and the guy that worked before me was a guy named Kid Frost, and he has a song called La Raza. And Kid Frost was the bomb. He came to me one day and he goes, "Hey, some friends of mine are coming into town. You want to go see them? It's kind of your kind of music." I was like, "All right." He goes, "Yeah, the dude's name's Perry." Like, huh? And I go,
Yeah. The only Perry.
"Hey, Jane's Addiction?"
Yeah.
"Yeah, dude, you know that fool had a convertible house, bro? He hit a button, dog, and his ceiling would open like this, bro, and we'd smoke Legos out there on this thing." Like, God bless Frost, man. He was the bomb. And so
Amazing.
I went backstage, got to meet the band, hang out with them, and not just, your normal, like, you're a radio guy meet and greet, but got to really kick back and hang out and, just really cool stuff. And so that's what I mean by saying it was a really neat before kids kind of life. And nothing still compares to being able to teach my kid how to carry the one.
Mike can confirm?
Can confirm. But let me one up you and say I loved raising my kids. I loved having them in the house. I loved when they moved out. I love being a grandpa.
Yeah,
that's so great to be. I was talking to my wife this weekend. We went down. I have a new grandson, grandchild number 5. We went down and saw him this weekend, and then came back, and it's like it was nice to be there and enjoy, but be a little overwhelmed and then leave. We enjoy being empty nesters, and you get all the benefits of enjoying the kids, but none of the responsibility and the ability to go, okay, go home now.
Shoo.
I oftentimes joke with people and say, when I was a teenager, I was trying to find the right girl and all that stuff. And it was kind of a bummer that none of them were into me. But now, as I'm 50 years old, I don't have any illegitimate children. I didn't have any knocks on the door. Hey, one got past the goalie and this is your kid. None of that stuff happened. So yeah. I guess there was a benefit to no girls wanting to bang me when I was younger. You got to find the silver lining, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it is what it is, but always a lot of fun to sit back and go, well, I got it in the later part of my life, and that's when I got to have kids and all that fun.
You appreciate it more, huh?
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's much better.
And so that's the end of our podcast.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Chris's sex life, and we're done.
And after that, we ended up, I got pulled back on the air again once Alexis was back up. And, when COVID hit, I have a buddy, Doug Hopkins. He's this guy that buys your house. Hi, I'm Doug Hopkins. I want to buy your house.
Yeah.
And he does stuff all across the country. And I host his radio show. And we also do the podcast. I've been doing that as a fill-in host for maybe 8 or 9 years. And as his full-time host for the last 5. And so, yeah, they're friends of mine. It's a lot of fun. We basically go on the air for an hour and do what you guys do. At the end of it,
Good
they're like,
time, isn't it?
it is, and it's kind of old hat since I've been doing this for so long. So, all right.
Yeah. You're used to being on air, but not this amateurish. We have no intro. We don't have any.
Don't even. I mean, it's all about, I'm
Yeah.
seeing you guys in picture. I'm hearing you guys in stereo. We've got quality broadcast equipment here.
Yeah, baby.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's the benefit of being voice actors is we had all the equipment already. We
Yeah.
didn't have, and we have better equipment than most podcasters.
It's so fun.
Who have little USB plug-in mics and that kind of stuff. I mean, we got good quality sound equipment. So
I use the
We
416
sound
that's
good.
inside the sound booth. I feel almost bad for not having the ability to kind of curve you around to the sound booth, but the sound booth is over there, and that's it's not soundproof, but it's really pretty deadened in there. And then we've got the 416, and then this guy here. This is the classic. It's an RE27, and basically all radio stations that I've ever worked in had the RE20s, and they're the most magical microphones on the planet. They have this ability to where when I turn my head like this, you don't hear the differentiation in the voice. And so one of the things that's super cool is you can talk to people and not have to worry about losing the dynamics of the voice, no matter where you're moving. And with a shotgun, boy, you guys would have lost me as soon as I did that.
Right.
So I use that for broadcasting. It's the most amazing magical mic. It's called the variable D pattern that they created back in the 50s. And the RE20, just a little side note, one of the people, it's one of my idols, is a guy named Charlie Van Dyke. And Charlie is the voice of a ton of stations across the country. Action 5 News, that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And Charlie, still to this day, even though he's on the biggest stations across the country, you'll see him behind his RE20, a $350 microphone, doing the news and crushing it for stations. Philly, Dallas, Miami, New York, LA. I mean, this guy's that guy, and he's sitting behind a simple little radio microphone that's $350, throwing it through some basic processing and crushing it.
Yeah.
You find what works. Especially, that's I know very little about sound quality. It's something that I'm trying to understand more about. I've got a couple of friends that are really know a lot about sound. Peter Rain, we had on the podcast a few weeks ago. You might have met him at One Voice, and so it's learning some of that, not just microphones, but also acoustical treatment, stuff like that. I know about this much of what I need to know.
The thing is, though, is what you start to learn is you're going to find. I mean, I've spent years and years behind different microphones, different processing units, and I still only know this much. And I end up finding that I got to go to different people. Lenny B is a friend of mine that's based out of San Diego, and he does settings and does amazing videos to kind of explain how rooms work, how to find the reflective sound, how to deaden sound in ways that you might not have thought of, and what frequencies take out which kinds of, like what material takes out what frequencies. So really interesting. Lenny's videos are always available, lennyb.com. So
there you go. Shameless
I'll
plug for
definitely
LennyB.com.
Yeah, LennyB.com.
And we
Really
are not
this.
above shameless plugs. We
Right.
love
I'll
shameless
forget
plugs
from him
because
for
we
that.
love our listeners to know where to go to find out stuff.
Yeah, no, he's helped me with settings too, and it's just always good to have people that you can bounce that kind of stuff off of. Another one is Rick Allen, as a friend of mine. Rick was a production director at Z100 in New York for a ton of years, and he knows more about producing than he's forgotten more than I'll ever know. But so it's another really great resource I can reach out to. That's the one thing that I've found is the people in this industry, they really do want to help you. And so there's no reason that, I mean, I know that there are a ton of people you can pay to help do stuff, but there's going to be a lot of friends that can really help you.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to start with your big, your resources.
That's one of the best parts about this podcast is I'm almost always making a new friend every week that I can just go, hey, what, this thing.
It might not be a friend yet, but at least you're making the connection. And then that makes it so much easier to build a friendship when they at least know that you're not some jerk that's, in it for nothing but to try to help yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we've probably about 50-50 pull people in. A few people are mutual friends, but there's been periods of time where Mitch is pulled on his resources, and I've met a lot of new people. And then like we're kind of in a period now where I went to One Voice, hit a bunch of y'all up, filled up the latter part of the year's schedule.
He went fishing.
Yeah, I got a lot of names, baby. So we got a lot of cool people coming up.
Whoppers.
That so Mitch is getting to meet people he hasn't met yet. So it's really cool to not only go to the conventions and meet people and be involved in projects and meet people, but to bring people on the podcast and meet people and actually have these conversations with and make great connections.
There's so many things that you got. I mean, to know. I've trained with Tom Deere this year, learning about how to be a better financial, small business owner. I trained with Brad Highland this year to try to get me out of that radio sound that I've had a ton of time spent in. And, I'm also still the voice of a couple of radio stations. So it's tough to break some of those. And now, now doesn't have to always be separated. You can go, and now we went into the movies.
Right.
And now let's go, whatever it is. But, when I see it, it's like, and now, or what is that thing, Right. And so it's kind of weird, I finally found my coach, Malik Berger. And Malik is fantastic. I just can't say enough about this woman and how much she's helped me kind of break out of some of the things, because she's so based in performance and not based in vocal and, attenuation and trying to get that one thing. So, to hear her go, look, that's not how you would talk to your wife. You're right. If I talk to my wife like this, then she'd not be my wife.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, let's face it. We do that sometimes. I'll affect a voice with my wife, and she'll just look at me and go,
yeah.
I've spent my whole life being a Jim Carrey character or like whatever character. So I've had to break. I'm not a radio guy, but I've had to break out of like turning into one of a character I've already seen. It's the same situation.
Yeah, you saw Dr. Evil, and all of us were like, we were like, you just start doing it. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. And that's kind of, I mean, that's not a bad thing, right? I mean, that gets you into creating voices. Mimicking is a thing. And some people have got, I mean, we get auditions. I get auditions, on the pay-to-plays all the time that are like, sound like this person, or we were looking for someone that sounds like this, and and most of the time I'm like, yeah, I can't do a good Charlton Heston, or I can't do a good whatever.
All of us off by doing an impression of what we think is supposed to be it
most of the time.
DJ, if you were to look at the people that I idolized, that's what I sounded like, and people in the beginning would go, God, why'd you sound like that? I just didn't get to be me yet. I was trying to be what I thought was awesome. And so we do that a lot, I think, when we're doing auditions too. I think that we kind of get ourselves caught up in what we think it's supposed to sound like.
Yes.
And, Jen Henry was amazing over at One Voice to kind of break me out of that too. I mean, that's another one. If you get the chance to work with Jen, she is an absolute genius, a godsend.
Spoiler alert, you're talking about a couple of future guests on the show there.
Future guests on the show.
Maybe coming on the show there.
That lady has a lesson for you no matter where you're at in your career. All the way from getting out of your own way to stuff that you just can really use forever, from microphone techniques to building characters. I can't say enough about how much I really have love for that woman.
Well, I can't remember. Were you in her 50-minute workout session? Okay, yeah, so was I. And it was just 50 minutes of manic energy spitting out truths, and it was crazy.
It was.
The whole time it's like, I can't take notes fast enough. That was a great one-liner, and
same thing. I was just writing it all down, and to get your own head, and to also, one of the things that's tough is a lot of the people like us. That's it.
Henry, don't be a dick.
That was her marketing material is just awesome. But one of the things that we all do, the people that we like to hang out with, we're not egotistical, assuming people. That's just not who we are. In fact, if you were to say, hey, dude, I heard your read, that rocked, you'd probably go, hey, thanks so much. But there's usually a deflection and a something, because we're not egotistical people. And her, man, when she reached right into my soul and said, hey, it's okay to be good with what you're doing right now. and to be like, you're making it. You're knocking out commercials. You're doing this. You may not be at this level, but you're doing it, and to be proud of yourself and to like, revel in your own successes.
Yeah,
Which
that's when you
sometimes
know you found someone
is hard.
real. Is that like Mitch and I have this, right? I feel like we'll talk, and he's sometimes my biggest cheerleader, my biggest rah-rah guy. You got this, you do. But he's also, if I pass something by him, he is going to be real with me and say, this needs some work. And those are the type of friends, those are the type of people in the industry that are great to latch onto, because they're going to build you up, but they're also not going to, glad hand you. They're not going to just,
thing you
be
need
all
is to be given
rose-colored glasses and all of that.
pat on the back, put on the butt, and be sent on your way. Tell me when I'm screwing up, please. That's the only way I'm gonna get better.
If I have a good enough run, I'm like, everyone's lying to me.
Right?
Everyone around here is sycophantic weirdos, and they're kissing up to someone who doesn't even matter. That's how like my successes feel. So if I have a good week, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We all kind of find those little moments. And, the other day, I'm still submitting. I'm not represented at this moment. And so I'm, put together a trailer demo, and it's fire. And it's really good. And that's kind of my passion is promo and, that imaging stuff. Because that's
kind of the voice for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God my mom got my tonsils taken out, and it came out sounding like this.
Got that rasp.
Is that
everyone's
what happened?
looking for?
I guess. Because this is, I remember before the tonsils got taken out, my mom said that people would mistake us when I would answer the phone. And my mom doesn't have a big voice. She's like 5'3", 115 pounds, and sounds like a mom.
Okay. Yeah, you have a very unique, fun voice. So thank goodness for the removing of something that's probably necessary, but we take them out anyway.
Right.
I'm going to go get mine taken out tomorrow so I can get a more unique voice.
What's up?
So you still find yourself in transition when it comes to radio guy and real guy, or like commercial or whatever.
Well, it's so funny because I've done so many commercials that I was working with the trainer, and they said, you know what, you actually have enough characters that you've built up in your brain that you're not moving off of yourself. He goes, I don't know how to explain it, but you've done so many reads through and tried to communicate with so many people through so many different lenses that your part of your brain just goes to that character of you. I went, wow, okay, because it's tough. I can't, if I try to, like people say, put you in it, I have to visualize the character and who I'm thinking I am, and then I can be that character, but I can't make me that character. And so it's something I'm working on still. Yeah.
Okay.
When I'm a DJ, I'm a DJ character. I know that sounds so dumb, and it's as me as it could be, but when I'm in there, my brain is switched into, I'm in DJ mode. And then when if I'm rocking a club with, 1,000 people on a dance floor and I'm DJing, music, I'm a different me. And then but it's still a character inside there. It's weird,
That is interesting. Yeah. Because so much nowadays is telling you to, be authentic. And
be the real you,
that's
and
the
real
buzzword,
me.
be the real you.
Fuck. And so I don't even know what to say. I don't know. And
who is you right now?
Right now?
Yeah, who are we talking to?
You're just talking to Chris, me, but you're still talking to a guy who's in that brain of marketing and understanding that, we're in a performance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not being a performer, but I'm also knowing that I can't be a non-performer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's still, he's podcast Chris.
Yeah.
He's podcast Chris right now.
If I was in a bar, Chris, hanging out with you guys, this would be who you would get, because this is how I am. If we're at a convention, talking, having drinks, this is who you're going to get. And
there is merit to that, because there are a lot of versions of ourselves. And I find that when I'm home alone, there's a different me. When I'm on the phone, when I'm in a room with a lot of people, I'm more outgoing. So yeah, it's funny story about me. It's actually a funny story about my wife. So if she listens to this, she's going to be, thanks, Mike.
Get
But
gravy.
the family all jokes about mom's phone voice,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
I've
she
had
can be in the
the
worst mood and be like, somebody calls, hi.
same
Oh, really? That's fantastic.
Mhm.
And it's just absolutely hilarious. She just turns into this different person when she's on the phone. And we're all like that, just different
Well,
degrees
a
based on what
perfect
we're doing and
example.
who we are with at the
If you've
time.
ever had to do like a giveaway, like so, you're caller number 13. Be caller number 13 for your chance to win $1,000. Okay, whatever it is. And now's
Mhm.
the time. You've listened for however many hours they told you to. And it's caller number 1, caller number 2, caller number 3, caller number 4. And you're just bouncing through your phones. You get to caller number 13. And the person goes, hello? Yeah. Okay. Hello? And they're like that. That's not an excited person. That's not the person you want on the air going, what? I just want to. You're like, you know what? Hold please, sir. Hold. Put them on hold, make them wait, build a little tension, come back. All right, sir. Are you ready? Do me a favor, turn down your radio, make sure that you're listening, have your phone ready. Are you ready, sir? Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, now there's a little nervousness in them. Okay, now I'm getting them psyched up because I want them to do this. Okay, so I'm constantly, when I'm thinking how I want to present this, trying to get that reaction. So that's what this coach was saying is that if you're trying to get them to be sad about their hurting family member and you've already done that, grandma's not going to make it. You know what I mean? And because I want that person sad. And so that's the thing. You need to get there. And so those things that happen are just part of what I've already built into how I am because of all these different personas that are in my head. And so it's so fun when I get to play into that world, which is what Malik brings out of me. And she's like, okay, you're a sad, angry misfit, this. Boom. Okay, go, And so it's just a different part of me anyway.
Yeah, well, and
Wow.
that's all acting really is pulling from your personal experiences. You can't
Well,
act sad if you've never been sad.
Well, I've also never cheated on my wife, but if I had to play that role, I have a character in there that would.
Yeah, but I mean, you can pull from different things to find that character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different, like I said, it's a lot of fun. But that's the neat part about all these different things we get to do is that one day I'm doing imaging, 98.7 The Beat, and doing that to make, listen all day long for your chance to score, or you're working your way into doing something that's like, more real, where we're trying to get across, Grandpa, have you thought about life insurance? Because, dude, like you're trying to be like, fuck,
Yeah, bro, grandpa.
Dude, and grandma's not going to be able to jump over to 7-Eleven 40 hours a week. So fuck, that kind of mentality. You're always constantly finding that thing. And so it's just so much fun. I just can't get enough of it.
I can tell, and you're obviously not having any trouble. Like, I don't know what you're talking about with all this trouble you're having. I can already see, what are we talking about? You're there, and you've been there, and I guess I didn't realize with radio, you can work, maybe it's hard for you to get out of this guy, but you have been working on everything else around it.
Yeah. Because you can't be the plumber on the spot and be this guy. You know what I mean? They're like, dude, nobody's going to buy that you're the plumber that's going to show up in 24 hours to fix their leak if you're talking like this, So, we've been doing that. And the funniest part was I went to One Voice last year, and they're like, dude, not only are you not ready, you're so broken that it's going to take a while till we can get you unradioed and get you ready to go. I was like, oh shit, I'm starting below zero. Like, I've done ads for like some of the biggest companies on the planet: Microsoft, Pepsi, Coke, Walmart, spots for like the Harlem Globetrotters, for the Phoenix Suns, like just so many different huge brands, and so for them to say, yeah, you kind of don't know what you're doing and you're not going to do well at this. I was like,
so is that the difference you call it, doing a radio spot that needs a radio voice?
If
or at
that's
least like a station pickup and things like that, and obviously the voice of, but so you're learning to do things outside of radio. You're learning how to do that commercial read that you would get from an agent or that you would get from a casting director. And that's what's difficult for you, is separating that radio voice from the type of read you have to do for those.
Well, that and the excitement level, because they say, they want somebody that sounds conversational. And so for me, my conversational is fucking all over the place.
A little big.
Yeah.
Like we are. And so you're like, well, wait, so you want like what my normal friends talk like, or do you want like what I talk like? Because my normal is all over the place like this. And so
this is my conversational. This is how I talk.
I'm a
What's wrong with you people?
Right?
Yeah.
So Brad Highland was great. He goes, well, so what you think is the normal level of conversational, you need to dial it back another 20%. And I went, wow. He goes, I know you're already dialing it back where you think it should be. But number one, you don't have to worry about your presence on the mic. You're going to find that the mic is going to find you. And so don't have to worry about it. Talk soft. And let them hear you. Don't make them hear you. And so I was like, okay. And that really helped me get out of that broadcasting, because you're used to like projecting, making sure that hits the fucking microphone, Sorry for the expletives. But, you're trying to make sure that it connects. And so sometimes, you're maybe a little louder volume wise than you would normally be, if that makes any sense. And so he was like, picture an ear. And so you're already there. You're talking to them so close because you're in their ear, likely, in their headphone, their earbud. So quit yelling. So that was good information. I mean, it was
thanks
really
for that secondhand advice from Brad Highland. I got it for free.
And thanks for giving me chills on my
coach.
little necky. Okay.
Right?
You're right there.
Get in there. Get in there. Right?
We'll have an ASMR episode.
Get in that ear canal. Let's go.
Right?
Oh, God. Okay.
I had a buddy who he goes, music for your ear balls. It's like,
all right. So one of the things we haven't really touched on that I want to know is, like, I mean, you grew up in radio. You've done radio for so many years. You've done bits and spots and promos and all the things for radio. What was it? And, COVID's everybody's story, right? So that may or may not have something to do with it. But what was it that got you to transition to, okay, I want to do more than just radio spots. I want to do, for lack of a better term, VO for real in the outside world.
So we got Alexis back into school because I helped, knock out a couple of years. I helped volunteer, PTO vice president, and it's been very fun. And I've done a lot for the kids and a lot for the school and raised tons of money for them. And it's been fulfilling, but there was something still missing. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. And when I see Batman, the animated stuff, and when I see the stuff I grew up with, Spawn, and when I saw Akira the first time, and I mean, geez, Ninja Scroll, through all the stuff that's currently, I mean, my daughter's watching K-pop, Demon Hunter. And I love animation. I've always loved it. I love the roles. I love all that stuff. And I thought, you know what? That plus the promo stuff that I think I'm really good at and love. I mean, it's so funny, but I walk through and it's like CBS Friday night. You know what I mean? I hear that in my head, and it's just, I'm like, okay, that's how these guys deliver their promos. These guys are a little bit more friendly because they want this. And so I'm like, okay. And so I'm constantly recording that stuff in my head because I know there's going to be that moment when they go, all right, it's your turn. Get in there. And I'm going to kill it.
Yeah.
So.
And it's being coached out of a lot of us who don't really know. Even I just learned what promo was recently. I've been like, I'll dabble in promo. I had no idea what it was. Okay. Yeah. I didn't really truly know, and someone had to like spell it out for me. And I think that is its own beast too. Yeah.
You have to learn that and feel that. And so when I did an actual imaging demo for Malik, and where Malik is so skilled in so many ways, I had to go, Malik, you have to let this copy breathe. So when you're going, and now your chance to win, give that spaces, because I may drop a line or a sweeper or a ha 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 voice or something sound effecty or thing. And so, when we did the Janet Jackson promo, it was like, Janet Jackson, I want you to stop so that I can go, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. So, like I had to tell her to stop running the sentences together when I did her demo, where she's like, Chris, stop breaking the damn sentences up. So,
that does sound tough. I don't know.
yeah, it's really a different mindset. And so it's a skill, I think, that everybody has to learn, and that's why I'm strengthening the areas of my skill sets that aren't as strong, and hopefully helping others get to where they need to be with their skill sets on their end. I mean, there's nothing better.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me. Just you think voiceovers, like, okay, you're doing commercials. There's a difference between commercials and animation. Sure, commercials, you're being more real. Animation, you're doing funny voices or whatever. But it's amazing to me the different genres. Like, especially like this year. I mean, we learned about. You've got your automotive people, your Jenna Birmingham's and
Cliff and Jenna and those guys. Yeah.
Cliff the Voice and or Charles the Voice and those guys. And I was talking to Jenna, who also will be a guest on the show. Let me just throw that out there. And just learning just from a conversation with her, how different the read for an automotive ad is than any other ad. The way you have to inflect in certain places and everything. And I'm like, wow, that's subtle.
The difference between if you're selling Cadillac versus Kia, because Kia's got a younger demo. So Kia wants somebody up in here. Come grab your Kia. Get your Hyundai. Those are up here and more friendly and younger. And then you've got more dedicated. You want a Cadillac. You want an Audi, a BMW. You're slowing it down. It's more luxurious. It's more different.
If there's anyone listening to this podcast right now that isn't already going, I need to hire Chris for something, then who are you? Because you got such a rich voice, dude. I could just listen to you read the phone book.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that announcery thing. You're the voice. I mean, I hear you talk, and I'm picturing the trailer guy from the '90s. One man, one way.
I did that exact thing one day. We all walk along the beach, and you find something special. Like I said, Don LaFontaine. I love.
Yes.
I love it. I love the emotion. I'm just a super nerd about it. And you know what I love more than anything else is I love helping others get to that spot, because others helped me. And so if there's a way that I can light that fire for other people to figure out how to get to that space, man, there's nothing better than going into the classroom and teaching the kids that don't want to get up in front of other kids and read, that if you can do this, they'll pay you $400 for a minute.
Yeah.
Their brains go boom, like, because they never thought that. That's never an option to them. There's firemen, there's policemen, there's this, there's that. Nobody told me I could talk for a living. You know what I mean? Unless it was to be a YouTube influencer, which they all want to be.
So,
yes. Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah. So, okay, it is what it is,
Paid for making TikTok videos.
Yeah. But, like I said, I just try to stay focused, try to help folks. Other folks are helping me. The stuff like with Liz Atherton, I'm doing her VOAC summer series. That is something that if you haven't gotten a chance to check out, you definitely want to see. Getting a chance to put your stuff in front of real casting directors and agents and stuff. And that's been a whole lot of fun this year. And then, hopefully, if things keep going well, I'm going to get that. I submitted my stuff to a couple of the big talent agents, some in New York and a couple of in LA. And fingers crossed they get back to me, and that we can maybe get the ball rolling on some of the stuff that's my dreams.
Yeah,
man.
And what are those dreams?
Oh, please.
I honestly, I want to continue to work and be the station voice, channel 12s, channel 10, I want to be ABC, NBC. I want to be the voice of stations. And it's something I've always loved. I was a production imaging director for a number of years. I still do imaging demos for folks. I love it. I just think it's neat, and it's old school too, because it's not like something that everybody's out there doing, because it doesnn't sound like anything that any else, you're like, God, stop making that sound. If you're hearing it, but in the right spot, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And you're the only one I've met so far who's leaning so hard into it. I think you're the first person I've met that is like, this is my jam. This is what I'm excited about. I've met people excited about e-learning. I've met everyone excited about animation, of course.
Yeah.
But the promo stuff, and I feel like you have to have the something. I have a cool voice, and I'm sure I could make it really this thing, but that sounds cheesy. You can already hear that I'm putting on some sort of weird...
Yeah. So I have this one friend, right? His name's Blade O'Neill, and he was one of the first guys.
Blade?
Nice. Blade, yeah, and he's like the name that cuts through, which is just the greatest imaging line of all time ever. So Blade, he lives on the West Valley, and I was telling a buddy that I worked with in radio, this is what I wanted to do, and I met with Blade, and he kind of got me on the right track. And so I go to meet him, and I met him, and he's like, okay, cool. We introduced each other and all that stuff. Thank you so much. Gives me a card. I call him back, got some information from him. He turned me onto the VO sites on Facebook. And then we got a third call. The third call, he tells me, it's about a month into knowing him. He goes, so dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought you were doing the voice. I go, what? He goes, I thought you were doing the voice. I go, what voice? He goes, the radio guy voice. I went, what? He goes, I thought for the first couple of times that I met you, you were doing the radio guy voice.
The whole time. But it was just you.
This is your fucking voice. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. This is it. This is what it sounds like. I wake up, it sounds like this shit, and I go to bed, it sounds like.
It sounds better first thing in the morning for you. Right?
Yeah, right.
I couldn't believe he said that, though. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm not doing the voice, I swear.
That's quite hilarious, actually.
That's good stuff.
Little things, I love this stuff so much. I can't get enough of it. And so I talk about it with folks. I love listening when people go, hey, will you listen to this for me? I love listening to stuff. I've trained probably 100 DJs to be on the air as a program director and as a, kind of as a mentor. Every time I do something to help others, my thing blossoms. And so my goal is to get out there, help some folks. And if there's something I can do, just somebody to bounce some stuff off of, you're always welcome. Chris at chrispantier.com. And, super easy.
There you go. That's Pantier. In case you're just listening. Chris Pantier.
H, I'm the Kardashian. So does it start with a K?
All right.
Wow, man, I feel like I've learned, sometimes you have someone on and you learn about yourself, and this happened today. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, honestly, it was so much fun. I hope I didn't get too off the rails.
And it's not over.
No.
Inappropriate stories. Oh
yeah,
I'm just telling you right now, like, I'm still like ruminating on things you're saying. So if I'm a little quiet, I'm like, oh. Like,
I can know that Mitch doesn't think I'm a jerk.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a little time.
Not on
myself.
the air. He won't admit
it. That's true. I'm nice to everyone.
I'm currently, like I said, trying to dig out as much knowledge as I can. I still do the trainings with Malik every week. I also do the Liz Atherton stuff. I'm trying to drop in. I'm currently going to be in Reno. I don't know how it's going to pull off, but Richard Redfield has a promo course that I'm trying to get in on October the 5th, but it just so happens it's the weekend. We're going to be out for a wedding. It's just, like I said, I wish I had more money and time to
soaking up the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat, though. Wish I had more money, more time.
Right, and it's luckily, I keep getting spots and stuff, and things keep popping in, and so that and the other revenues that I have with the radio show and the other things. I mean, we all do this, and it's just next thing you know, you're like, wow, I made that much at the end of the year. Okay, cool. I think I should keep doing this, and it keeps growing, and so. Like I said, once I get to that level where I can get some management, some agents, some folks that might be able to put me in line with some better spots. I mean, I've probably nailed down maybe 10 commercials this year so far. So that's over one a month. And, that's not a bad ratio for how many I'm auditioning for. It's just they're not paying the same amount. And my goal is to not get locked out of something. I don't know if you guys have ever sat through Vince Labica's classes. Vince is very big on conflict, and he does not want you to have conflicts where he can't book you. So if you're doing something like a tag on a Ford line for some local vendor that you got $50 for in perpetuity, that can keep you from getting that big Ford money for a national account. And so we're all just trying to get as much stuff as we can through to get an agent or somebody to like us. And then we can stop doing that stuff and start getting paid for usage.
It is nice.
Yeah. So, and I think that we're all on the cusp. I think that there's so many of us that are just right there at the edge of it. And there's one of the things they told me, they go, hey, look, one of the things they've got a lot of is guys that sound like you. Middle-aged white guys. And so the agents have built their rosters on that, and they're not continuing to pad the rosters with a sound they already have. And so getting a hold of management and agents is going to take a while. And when it happens, it's going to happen with the right people, and they're going to crush it with you. So I have to just kind of be positive and stay focused and know that even though as you guys, you're like, hey, it sounds amazing. I agree.
What about EOL white guys?
Ooh. I don't know what to say about that.
End of life, like Mike Pelletier. Just sort of like living out the last few.
Easy. I've still got at least 5-6 good years on this earth, man.
Get these hips.
Well, I didn't make this joke, but I've repeated it many a times. They've told me, you're waiting for people to die on rosters, buddy.
Oh,
so
no.
Oh, no. Yeah, either that or to stop booking so that they move a opening available.
Yeah, maybe that's going to be my opening pitch. So have you lost any old white guys recently? Because I'm here to replace them.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. I'm your new old white guy.
I'm your new old white guy, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be, we need to change your tag.
That's going to be my tagline, your new old white guy.
The new old,
and remember the white guy overbite.
Dang, I'm old too. All right. Well.
Mitch,
I want to play. So I'm ready.
What do you guys, and I know that you guys are working on the podcast stuff. Is there anything that what are your big goals for this year? I mean, you still have a couple of months left. I mean, sorry to flip the script on you, but
we're being interviewed now. How about that?
Yeah.
What's up with you?
I'm going to go because I just decided today. I've been going through Mark Scott's 30-day challenge, trudging through it. Most of it's very boring to me. It's good for you. It's good to market, right? Yeah. I've decided that that's just not the way I'm going to market or do it. I've decided to be more of a creator and try to put things out there that I think are funny and fun and that I can hire all my friends to help me with. And because I have, a lot of talented friends, that just seems like the whole reason I got into this. I'm realizing now.
I mean, we didn't get into this to do marketing and to be some guy that understands how your SEO works and all these other things. We got into this to be an actor and just fun and be behind this microphone.
And there is that business side of it you can't neglect, but there's also a level where some of us just don't have it in us to put hours and hours into sending cold emails and doing and doing research on all of the widget makers in Topeka, Kansas, and sending an email to them all. And some people are built like that and some people aren't. I'm not. I know I could do better with marketing, but it's just not my passion.
I think that, if you have something you're passionate about and can put out some great art, I think one of the things that I most am drawn to this is either you like what I do or you go on. I'm not selling you something. I'm not pitching you something. If you like what I do, I'm an artist. That's my painting. Buy it. And if it's not your cup of tea, then I'm so cool with it. Thanks for looking and move on. And it's all good because it all happens for the right reasons. And so I'm with you, man. Sometimes that's the way to go.
Well, it's a good way to look at things. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's the right way. And, people like, what was it? She's a super nice blonde lady that's from Nava.
Yeah, the one with the pizzas.
One with
It was the speaker at the awards.
The HR thing. Yeah,
we need.
I can't remember her name either off the top of my head.
She doesn't do demos. She doesn't do stuff, and they call her. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, she's not out there marketing and trying to do stuff, and she's killing it. So everybody gets there on their own different road, and there's no one way to get to that. That's what's so.
Well, and I guess to answer your question that you asked earlier, I mean, my thing, I would love to make more money, but I right now I'm more interested in being creative, not doing what Mitch is doing, and I mean I will help him along that journey as much as he asks me to, but I just want to do things that I can be proud of. I just want to do things. I would love to make the money doing things, but I'm also fine doing some of the stuff that I'm doing for free, because it's fulfilling, and that's what I want, is to be fulfilled. I also I want to get better. I signed on with Malik Berger for the fall program, and so I'm looking forward to doing that and getting better at characters, getting better at acting, and hopefully that's going to lead to some things for me. But
one of the things she talks about is the art of the pivot, and there's nothing. One of the times that she sat down, she goes, "Okay, so you're sitting down, you're auditioning in front of this person, you've somehow gotten the call back." Okay, out of the 1,000 people, they want to hear from you. You go in and you do the read that you've practiced for the last four days. You know what I mean? Ever since they gave you the copy, and you're like, I know this thing. I know I fart here.
Yeah.
The character has a pregnant pause here and goes to this. So you're ready. And then they go, okay, what else you got? And the moment they like you. They're like, I think that you might fit into this project, and you might not be right for this character, but could you, hey, would you read this? Could you try that? And to be ready mentally to jump onto another plane, to go that next level, that's that moment, because how often do we fight to get to that callback level? Mm-hmm. I mean, we do everything we can to get that audition, to get to that moment, to just grasp it. And then to not be ready for all the opportunity that could come from that moment. That's what Malik will get you ready for. And that's the thing that just through watching, I picked up so much stuff extemporaneously, as opposed to the stuff she's just thrown right at my face. But you got to be ready for those moments. And Amen. Those things, like, that's the kind of level of stuff that I can't say enough about, not to mention the fact that she takes
I know she sometimes listens to the show. So Malik, if you've made it this far into Chris's interview.
Like I said, there's a good chance she hasn't, and this is just for real. This isn't for plugs.
No, I know. But I'm looking forward to it too, because I felt the same thing in working with her at the conference, and have been excited to try to get in with her for a while now. So I'm excited and looking forward to it. But hey, I think it's time. To do a little bit.
Speaking of art of the pivot,
playing around. Yeah,
he's so good at the non sequiturs.
I am the segue king. But we're gonna do. Would you like to do a little acting with us? Would you like to do a little playing around with us, Chris?
What do you got for me?
Because I think it's time for the ChatGPT.
We don't even know yet.
Roulette.
Don't?
No, we're going to pause and we're going to write it right now.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to have the computer write it, because we're lazy.
Just hit the one.
And we're back.
We're back.
With something slightly unhinged and radio focused, because Chris is a radio guy.
But
different. He's not
different.
Playing the DJ.
No. It's me, and we'll see how that goes. Okay.
Fantastic DJ. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah, I'm the best.
Yes, I would listen to you.
Yeah.
The title is Love Songs and Red Flags. Sound effects, slightly detuned radio jingle with whispering voices. That's weird. Okay. You're listening to Heartline FM, where love is confusing and the studio definitely isn't haunted. Tonight's question, what song best describes your love life? Let's open the floodgates. Caller 1, you're live.
Yes, hi, it's me. The song that defines my love life is Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell.
Wow. Creepy, intriguing. Please explain.
Oh, well, see, I'm still in love with my ex, and I haven't spoken to them in like 3 years, right? But astrally, I project into their dreams every third Thursday. Last night, they dreamt of soup. I was the spoon.
Okay. So your love life is mostly spiritual trespassing.
They'll understand when the owl returns.
Moving on. Caller 2, what's your theme song?
Yeah, it's definitely "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney. That's Britney Spears.
Relatable. Who'd you do what to?
Well, I accidentally fell in love with someone I met in a group chat for people who believe that pigeons are government surveillance drones. We kissed under a cell tower. I think it transmitted feelings.
Are you sure it just wasn't 5G-induced confusion?
Love is real. Pigeons are not.
Alrighty, let's bring it back to Earth with caller 3. What sums up your love life?
Dude, Sad Storm by Darude.
Yeah, that's not even about love, so...
Yeah, exactly. My last date brought their emotional support raccoon. We shared a silence so long, it became a legally binding truce. We now co-own a canoe.
So, no romance then?
No, only treaties. The raccoon has custody of my Spotify.
All right. Last caller, what song best captures your love life?
Oh, well, I gotta say, it's definitely "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred. But only the part where I walk down the street like I own a haunted mannequin shop.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, see, I fall in love 6 times a day, mostly with people I see reflected in microwaves. One of them winked back. I think we're engaged.
To the reflection?
To possibility, DJ Lovebug. To possibility.
And there you have it, folks. Whether you're in love and it's astral, electronic, or shared with woodland creatures, remember there's a song for you. And if there isn't, just scream into a jar and shake it to the beat, right? This is DJ Lovebug signing off before the mannequins wake up. Good night, stay weird, stay single, or don't. I don't care.
I think I love you, DJ Lovebug.
It's so strange.
Oh, I would listen to that show.
I do have to know, did you get callers that weird?
So, actually, yeah, we did all the time. In fact, the guy that does this show is over in San Diego. His name is R-Dub, and he does the late night dedications and good nights and stuff, and it's the best.
Gosh, I must listen.
Yeah, you got to. Sunday night slow jams with R-Dub.
I miss old time late night radio in like the 80s and 90s when you'd get
I used to play
in shows, man.
Art of Noise would play, and then it'd stop down, and late night good nights, and to La Green Eyes. Hector says, wait for him.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. What does that mean? There's undertones there.
And you saying it like that somehow makes it weirder, even though it's...
Yeah.
No, I mean, and we would get the best things. Like I said, I love radio. I love people. I love being around this audio stuff. I'm a giant nerd.
And we love you, Chris. This was a good time, fantastic time. I had a good time talking to you at One Boys. Mitch, hopefully now you know why I wanted to get Chris on the show.
I understand.
He's a good dude. And that voice, man.
Yeah.
You guys, voice. I can't say thanks enough. I love the chance to talk about this stuff with folks. And so I only wish I had a podcast running so I could do another episode with you guys.
All right. Well, that's a good way to end. I don't know if the recording is going to have Chris freezing, but I think that means it's time to go.
It is.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet.
We'll be friends forever or something.
Yes, forever.
All right. Let's make it
I love you, Chris.
Oh, I love. There's so much love.
All right.
Bye.
Awkward goodbye.
Yeah, bye, I guess.
You
I guess I wonder, are people like waiting to see what the goodbye's like? Is it like something people wait for now, you think?
Or is this the point where they go, they're off the rails, it's time to quit
right.
listening?
I wonder.
20 minutes
Let's listen in and find out.
Even still here, yeah.
All right, bye, y'all.
See you guys.